Hey all, Bree from the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I have got a gift for you this holiday season. If you love the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I mean love the No Guilt Mom podcast, then tell us about it. Leave us a review, and you can be entered to win a No Guilt Mom gift card. All you have to do is leave a review, take a screenshot, and then simply go to noguiltmom.com/review to enter our giveaway for a free No Guilt Mom gift card, simply for telling us what you think about the podcast. It is amazing. But don't delay. Get right on this, as we're going to be giving away that No Guilt Mom gift card on December 21st. So get right on over and visit noguiltmom.com/review.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, Joanne Crone, joined by the lovely Bree Tucker.
Why, hello, everybody. How are you?
We are right in the middle of summer. Well, for summer is going to start for many people here in Phoenix. We all started our summer at the end of May, but I know that people in the East Coast and some West Coast start in the middle of June, right about now. And I know how much swimsuit season's on the mind.
Yeah, I was going to ask real quick. So swimsuit season is on the mind. How do you define summer? Do you define it as the end of school or when the weather is unbelievably hot? Or the calendar?
I have to say, well, here in Arizona, it's hot a lot. So I would say summer's defined by when everybody is off of their normal routine because the kids are off from school.
Okay, I like that definition.
That would be summer.
And you do spend, especially if you are in the Southwest region of the United States, you spend a lot of that season in swimsuits, in tank tops, and shorts because it is hotter than hellfire outside.
It is. And I know that getting ready for this, a lot of people are very worried about the swimsuit. And
I'm one.
You're worried?
I'm always worried. I don't know. I feel like ever since turning 40, I have a harder time staying healthy.
Yeah.
And that's all encompassing. That's eating like crap. That's not the same amount of exercise that I used to do doesn't work the same. So now I have to do more. And then I'm like, and the whole, should I love my body more the way it is? But it's like, I just want to be happy, and I'm not always happy with that.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think that's how I felt a few months ago. Well, I mean, that's how I felt last July when we came back from the cruise and I got COVID. And I mean, I'm currently 41. So for all of you out there, there's my age. But I mean, some people look at me and they're like, what does she know about parenting and these things? Because she's a child. And I just look naturally childlike, even though I tower over most people.
I would say you look young, not childlike. To me, someone saying that I look childlike would be offensive. I'd be like, I don't like that. No.
No, okay, not childlike.
That's just Bree's thoughts in her brain.
Yeah. Well, as an older child, when you tell me I look young, I have authority. I know what I'm talking about.
There you go, right? We all have our things in our head. Somebody says one thing and we look at it like we were just talking about that before we started recording. One thing is said and we're like, wait a minute. So anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, so I felt this way because first of all, my body didn't work because I had COVID. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get out of bed. And I was like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm done with this. I'm going to start working out. And I started working out. It was inconsistent. It was consistent to the point where I tried 10 minutes a day, and you get reamed out by our guest on this one too, in this interview about that one.
You do or you don't. There is no try. I'm trying to be Yoda. Did that have a Yoda sound?
Yeah. But, I tried and then I just wasn't getting anywhere until I committed to putting in a certain amount of time every day. And I tracked it on our habit tracker like we do in Balance VIP. This is why we have the habit tracker. Doing a certain amount each day, tracking how consistent I was with it. And then when that didn't give me the results I wanted, in the beginning of March, I'm like, okay, time to eat better. And about 2 weeks into eating better, and I have a whole process, it's not just eating better, but I started feeling more confident and happier and stronger. And I think in this interview, we go into how to actually achieve that in your life, how to reach your health goals and what's kind of missing. So I can't wait for you to hear this interview. It is with Lisa Druxman. She's the founder of Fit for Mom, which you might know as one of their classes, Stroller Strides. It is the country's largest fitness program for moms now, and they have classes that don't involve strollers. Lisa is a noted speaker, author, podcaster, and a powerhouse of energy. I absolutely loved her energy too.
Yes.
Great. She was so much fun. She's passionate about helping women get out of overwhelm and into a life of health and happiness. And she shares her life hacks and experiences to help you live a more passionate and purposeful life. And we hope you enjoy our conversation with Lisa. You want mom life to be easier. That's our goal too. Our mission is to raise more self-sufficient and independent kids, and we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to help you delegate and step back. Each episode will tackle strategies for positive discipline, making our kids more responsible and making our lives better in the process. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom Podcast. Hey, Lisa, I'm so excited to have you on because I went to Stroller Strides when my daughter was younger.
Yes, that makes me so happy.
It's so fun to meet you. And I only made it to one class.
That does not make me so happy.
My daughter was crying the whole time and I was just dealing with postpartum and like all those insecurities that you have as a new mom that I was so embarrassed to come back.
And so pretty much 90% of all of our clients.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. So while I didn't try Stroller Strides, I think it was because when my son was born, it was the beginning of the Phoenix summer. And I was like, oh, heck, no, I'm not going out.
Oh, I know. They go early and our Arizona classes start real early to avoid that heat.
Okay. And Joanne will tell
you. It was in a mall, actually. It was in the Chandler Mall. So we weren't even in the heat. So it was a really good
Joanne will tell you, why would Bree not go to a class that's really early to avoid Arizona heat?
She can't wake up that early.
I don't know.
Got it.
No, not.
She's late to everything. No,
I am. My son was early when he was born, and I was like, "What are you doing? You're messing up the family mantra here. We show up late to everything." Luckily, as a teen, he got the memo finally, and he's now late with me to everything. But I digress. Good. My point being is what you just said. I think so many of us as moms, we fear that everybody is judging us, and I would refuse to go grocery shopping. Because I was afraid, because I had a time where my kid screamed and cried and I felt so embarrassed. Like everybody was staring at me that I was like, nope, won't do it again.
Yeah, we want all moms to show up like come hot mess, messy bun, poopy diaper, whatever you have to do, because we get it. Yeah. And that's really so much of what we're about. And we all know that 1 out of 4 moms has postpartum blues. So we are there to be her love, her support, her place to get some exercise, fresh air, unless you're in the mall class.
It's still fresh air.
We're used to it in Arizona.
Still got out of the house.
Yes.
Getting out of the house with a baby is
huge.
Amazing. Huge.
Still saw people, definitely. And I have to say that class, when I was at that level, it was hard, but it was like a good hard too. Knowing now what I know about fitness, and I'm fairly into fitness now, it's something that I know if I'd stuck with and gone back, I would have gotten better at.
Well, I really wish that you did stick with it because it's funny. We have so many moms who are like, I can't go because my baby doesn't like the stroller. Stroller Strides is pretty unique. I mean, so if you've never seen a class, we've got moms singing to the babies. The instructors have bubbles and puppets and it's workout for mom. It's fun for baby. And it is very common for a baby to cry in the first class. And then within 3 classes, they are hooked. And I kid you not, I can't tell you how many moms across the country have told me their kids' first words are Stroller Strides. It doesn't sound exactly like that, but they want to go to Stroller Strides because it's where all their little friends are. So again, fitness for mom, fun for baby. It's all good.
So fun. Well, I want to go a little into your background because it interests me that you earned a master's from San Diego State University in psychology. But what interests me was it was an emphasis in exercise adherence.
Yes.
And I feel like there must be a story behind that emphasis and why you decided to go that route.
Yeah. So my thesis was exercise adherence and behavior modification weight control. I taught fitness throughout college. I think I started actually in high school, but throughout college. And I was always blown away by how many clients I had where I'm like, okay, you're going to eat grilled chicken and vegetables. And then they'd eat pizza and French fries and fried chicken. And then I was like, who are we kidding? I was doing the same. Why do we do the things that we know? It's funny because when you think about it, all diets that are out there are telling you what to eat. All right. Keto, sugar, whatever it might be. The problem is not what to eat. We all know what we should be eating. Okay. Like unless we're really talking about fine tuning, we all know that grilled chicken and vegetables are going to be better than the pizza and the French fries. It's why don't we eat it? And so I was obsessed not only for myself, but for all of my clients about diet mentality and really understanding how do we find a way to eat and a way to exercise that is going to last a lifetime. And so that was really what I studied was how to change. It's usually about changing your thoughts and changing your behaviors and creating habits. And the reason why diet culture doesn't work is, if you tell yourself you can't have something, it only makes you want something more.
Yes.
Pretty much what I found in my studies was that every diet is followed by an equal and opposite binge. And so that's why people end up gaining more weight when they diet. So it was in my heart to study it, not only for my clients, but for myself. And I'm sure that some of that made it into Fit for Mom, not only with how we've created an exercise program that feels good and is fun, but also our nutrition programs, like our Body Well programs, really making sure this is a lifestyle because we want to raise healthy moms so they can raise healthy kids. We don't want to raise moms who are having to be on diets and showing their kids deprivation.
My son is playing a game right now on his computer where he's a thief and the cops are after him. So I'm so excited about this new app, Give As We Grow, where instead of being the quote unquote bad guys, kids are practicing giving back.
That is so cool, Joanne. I really wish that there was something like this when my kids were younger that got them excited about giving back to others and helped them build a better understanding of what it really means to volunteer.
Give As We Grow is the first of its kind free educational mobile app for children ages 8 to 11 that teaches kids via fun, service-focused minigame quests to tap into their unique talents and interests to help others.
And did you know that studies show that there is a biological connection between generosity and happiness, and that volunteering improves people's physical and mental health? I mean, kids who volunteer typically do better in school and are less likely to engage in risky behaviors. And that is something that I think we all want for our kids.
Ready to spark a new movement in generosity? Find and download Give As We Grow for free in the App Store for Android and iOS. And for resources for the whole family, visit giveaswegrow.org.
Hey all, Bree here, and I wanted to share one of my favorite gifts to give during the holiday season, a Storyworth book. It is the most amazing gift ever. Storyworth is an online service that lets you create a special and unique gift of someone's story. I've given Storyworth books to both of my parents, and it has been their favorite gift, hands down. And did I mention it is so easy? Storyworth emailed my parents questions every week that I handpicked from their massive list of questions that they have. All my parents had to do was open their email and answer them. That easy. I asked my dad questions like, did you have any rules that you set for yourself as a parent, which you immediately broke? And he did. I even asked both of my parents, are you more like your mom or your dad? And they shared a lot of really amazing qualities that I didn't know about my grandparents at the time. Then at the end of the year, Storyworth compiles all of their answers, puts them into this gorgeous book that covers everything. My parents love showing us their books, and I personally love getting a chance to read them. With Storyworth, I am giving those I love a thoughtful and personal gift from the heart that preserves their memories and stories for years to come. Go to storyworth.com/NGM and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/NGM to save $10 on your first purchase.
Yes. Okay. So you've lit a fire in me because I have a rage against diet culture. And it is such like,
let's go, girl.
Go. Okay. There is such this perception, especially among women, that they have to do a particular plan to get things done diet wise. And we see this a lot in our coaching community too, how women come in and they're like, I'm going to follow this plan and I'm going to follow this plan. And you have results in the first month, but it's after the first month, it gets so hard. And just like some personal things, like I am counting my macros right now. And I find that it's a very sustainable way of living because I don't have to restrict myself from anything.
Yes.
Because like you mentioned, when you say you can't have something, you just want it even more. So for all of those moms out there and women and just people in general who feel like they want to get healthier, they want to feel good and confident, and they're considering this diet program over here, what do you say?
It's human nature that we always want a quick fix, right?
Right.
I want to be bikini ready by summer. I want to be in a dress for this wedding. I want to, it's like always this quick fix.
It's society right now too. Everything is on demand.
Mm-hmm.
You want to watch something,
totally.
you just stream it right away.
Everything is instantaneous.
Right.
So we want everything instantaneous. But I think about if you had made some small changes 1 year from now, you'd be pretty happy with where you'd be right now.
Mm-hmm.
So can we start making some small changes? And so for me, it's very much about making small, sustainable changes. I love that you're counting macros. I think education is really important. So understanding how food fuels your body, understanding how you put on muscle, understanding how you can burn body fat, understanding how sugar affects you. The more education you have, that helps you make better choices. But then going, okay, know what are 3 new habits I'm going to work on? So maybe we start with water, or maybe we start with, changing some of the timing, but we don't try to change everything at once because it's not sustainable. So change a few things, you make it a habit. Once it's a habit, then we can change a few more things. And I love the book. This is not a diet book, but we can apply it. The Slight Edge. It's one of my favorite books if you have not read it. And it's really about that if you can make a small change every single day, how that adds up with compound interest. And it's funny, it's the only book that I ever offered each of my kids $100 to read this book because I really believe, I believe so much that this mentality can change everything in your life. And so if we apply it to fitness and nutrition, it's like, can you improve by, I think like 1/3% a day? That's it. Just a little bit each day, instead of trying to do something so giant.
That's so great because first of all, you have boosted my hope a little bit in this whole process because honestly, I am 41 days into counting macros. I've been doing it well. I've been tracking everything. I would definitely say I'm not doing it perfectly and it's going very, very slow, but it's sustainable. And just what you say is like, if you've made a little change, now it's time just to like make another little change.
Yeah.
And the education helps so much because what I do by counting macros is I am now seeing exactly what is in the food that I am putting in my body. And a big realization I came to very early on in the process is I'm like, whoa, that has a lot more calories than I thought it did.
Yes.
Like, and when I did the macros for my famous margaritas that I make, I'm like, wow, that's 295 calories all in carbs. I need to budget for that throughout the day. And then I'm going to enjoy that one.
Yeah. And that knowledge is power. So with the margaritas, to think about the calories maybe aren't super high on some drinks, depending on what you're going to have, but your body can't burn fat when it's trying to digest alcohol. And so if all of us as moms are drinking alcohol on a regular basis, and I do too, so this is not a judgment, you just have to be aware it's going to be really hard to achieve some of your weight loss goals if that's what you have, if you are drinking every night. So again, it's just knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And what's a core value for me is that I want you to live as you one day want your kids to live. If you think about that, that is the answer for everything. Like, I want my kids to eat healthy foods because that fuels them. I want them to eat so that it gives them energy. But forgetting about the food part, I want them to move their bodies so they feel good. I want them to stress less. I want them to have more fun. I want them to have life balance. Kids don't do what we ask them to do, but they might do what you model for them.
Yes.
So this is the best gift you can give as a mom, is to live as you one day want your kids to live.
I'm thinking to myself,
Most
you are
definitely.
Lisa is a no-guilt mom.
Yeah.
Is she not, Joanne?
You are a no-guilt mom. That is
mom.
what we that's what we preach. Yes.
Nice. I love it.
The only way that you can make changes in your family is if you make changes in yourself. That's the only way. And I love it from that mentality, especially you mentioned the stress part, the stress less. And I have to say, my daughter caught me off guard the other week where I was like, I love my job. And she's like, Mom, I always see how much your job makes you miserable. And I'm like, but it doesn't make me miserable. I love my job, but I am only sharing the parts where I am stressed. I'm not sharing the other 90% of the time where I'm happy and fulfilled and get to do what I love. And so it's such an interesting balance when we talk, especially about stress and stressing less, because in our culture, I think that it's not become as acceptable to talk about when we're happy, when we're fulfilled, when we're calm, as when we are stressed.
Right. Because
like we're venting.
People look at it as like, oh, they're bragging, right? Like it can look like that. I think women, we get judged a lot for that, especially as moms. If we're having good things and we talk about it a lot, it can be like, oh, there's no way that's real. That person has to be making it up.
Whenever you ask any mom how you are, I mean, maybe not your listeners, but any other mom, you're going to say, how are you? What do they say? Crazy.
Right? So overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah. Like everybody always says the same things. And I was that way. Okay. And I realized I created that for myself. And I am the designer of my life. And it is up to me to design something different. So if I don't want to live in overwhelm, I don't have to. If I don't want to live in chaos, I don't have to. And so I'm that person who I'll be bragging, I guess, to say I've reclaimed my time and I've reclaimed my health and myself. And again, I feel I am imperfect as all human beings are. There is no perfect. I also share with my family the stresses. And I also model how I prevent stress and how I deal with stress, and hopefully not just by drinking a glass of wine.
Yeah. You know, it's what you say there, hopefully not drinking a glass of wine. I realized I was doing that. That was my coping mechanism. And throughout this journey, I have been breaking down in tears, crying when I'm so stressed because I had no other coping mechanism to deal with my stress other than either drinking a glass of wine or getting some ice cream.
Yes.
And those were the two. And when you realize
you're not alone,
right?
No,
right.
You're not alone. And it was something that's helped me because again, I love my glass of wine and I used to be really good at, I would just have my wine on the weekends and then come the pandemic, like so many of us, it became just a nightly thing. It was fun. My husband and I would open up a bottle of wine each night and, 10 pounds later. But besides that, what I realized was I was using the wine to numb me. I was using the wine so that I didn't have to deal with the real stress and the real feelings of the day. And so a good mind shift for me to be is, no, I want to feel this life. Okay. And it's okay to feel stress and to be aware of it and to breathe through it and have a different response to stress. Something that I've been doing, I'm going to do total tangent alerts.
We call ourselves shiny object squirrel girls. So
just
you are
bring me back
here
at any time.
Yeah.
I've been doing the cold plunges. Have you played with that?
I've seen this. And I briefly contemplated getting a cold plunge pool. Yes.
Yeah,
I did.
I'm going to say, don't go buy
4
the
hours.
cold plunge pool. Just go to one, like I have a pool in my backyard, so that's close enough. But here's why I'm liking the cold plunge more than anything. It's supposedly there are some health benefits to it. But besides that, it is learning how to stay calm in a very stressful situation.
I could see that.
Think about it. You get into something cold. What do? Right. You go into panic and you start, breathing really fast. Okay. That is what your normal response is. But through this practice, I am learning how to stay calm and I am finding that I'm able to apply it in other parts of my life. Okay. That was the end of that shiny object.
Interesting.
No, I don't think this was a shiny object whatsoever because I've done 4 marathons and my last one was 14 years ago. But that is something that I learned in marathon training too, because I think the same thing applies in exercise. When you are in a hard, intense exercise, you go into this panic. Oh my gosh, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. And you have to bring yourself back so that your heart rate stays calm so that you can push through whatever you're pushing through.
Yes.
So I think it's one of the benefits of exercise as well. It's teaching you not to panic and teaching you to control those intense emotions of thinking you're not being able to do something.
Would you say that's also along the same lines of meditation as well? Like being thoughtful, being in the moment and being aware so you can move through it? No?
I mean, I'm a big meditator. I meditate every day. I have for 25 years. And I've tried all different kinds and I teach meditation. So I'm
trying to get into it. I'm trying.
I'm going to do some Star Wars on you. There is no try. You either do or you do not. Okay. So
This is the way, Brie.
You might say you're working on it.
Okay,
or
fine.
you might say I'm dabbling in it, but don't use the word
All
try.
right,
We're not going to use that
I'm
word
working
anymore.
on making it a habit.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. It is so hard to raise kids who know how to manage money. Brie, right now, my kids are all about earning money for presents. My daughter wants to get presents for all of her friends, and my son is doing a Secret Santa with his friends.
Oh, I hear you. And if you're looking to raise kids that are financially responsible, we have got a lifesaver recommendation for you that you need to check out. It is Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app made for families that gives kids and teens an easy and fun way to gain financial literacy, all while giving parents peace of mind.
You can send instant money transfers, automate allowance, and even keep an eye on kids' spending with real-time notifications. Meanwhile, your kids can begin their journey towards financial autonomy by learning how to save, invest, and spend wisely.
So sign up for Greenlight today and get your first month free when you go to greenlight.com/NGM.
That's greenlight.com/NGM to try Greenlight for free. Greenlight.com/NGM. We're hitting that time of year where my brain gets so overloaded in December that I look for anything to make life easier. And I have to say, Brie, that Green Chef is one of those services.
Yes, Green Chef is there to take away the dreaded, oh my goodness, what are we going to eat for dinner tonight? You can eat clean all holiday long with over 80 weekly meal options each week, featuring things like quick and easy, protein-packed, calorie-smart, or my personal favorite, the keto options.
And you don't have to lose track of healthy eating habits during the holidays because every Green Chef customer gets a free session with one of their registered dietitians who can walk you through how to make clean eating work for you, which is very cool.
And I have to say that I have been loving their recipes lately. They put things together I have never thought of. This week, we're trying the lemon basil caper pork with sauteed cauliflower, bell peppers, almonds, and feta cheese, my favorite. Their recipes make it so easy to support my wellness goals without skipping on flavor.
For Green Chef's best deal of the year, get $250 off with code NGM250 at greenchef.com/NGM250. That's greenchef.com/NGM250. And don't forget to use that code NGM250 to get $250 off.
Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
Yes. And the thing is, here's what I want to remind you about meditation. They call it a meditation practice because it's a practice. You have to practice it. All right. It's not something that's given to you and comes easy. I've been meditating for 25 years. There has never been one single session where I sit there. And, for those of you who are not watching on video, clear head, not a thought. Your brain is made to think. What will start to happen as you practice, Brie, is that you will start to slow down the thoughts. You will start to create more space between the thoughts. So where I tie the meditation into the stress stuff that Joanne was talking about is the more you practice meditation, the better that muscle is when you're having a stressful situation of being able to calm your physical body.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the
Totally.
big point, right? Like, because that's where I struggle. And I think so many of us do, and we need this. Like, we are like, how are you doing? I'm crazy. My life is crazy. I'm super stressed. Joanne was saying when you're doing the marathon, like, we don't believe we can get out of it. I'm not having that fix right away. I'm not able to meditate as well as my husband is, or as well as my best friend is. So I must be doing something wrong, or I must not be able to do it. Kind of thought process.
And you're probably only going to meditate once a day, maybe twice a day if you're really into it. But know what you could tap into anytime. So for any of your listeners right now who are going, no, actually everybody needs to do this right now. So if you feel like I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling anxious, all I want you to do right now is just take some deep breaths, really slow, deep breaths. And just notice how immediately your body starts to calm. I mean, I feel it immediately. Just do that. Do that throughout the day. Notice when you feel yourself starting to get psyched up and go, okay, I'm okay with this feeling. I want to be a feeling human being. And let's unpack it a little bit. Why am I feeling anxious? Why am I feeling stress? And it's our mind. And if we can switch that and switch our energy, switch everything.
And I think meditation and exercise really do provide those ways to calm down the body. And make you recognize the emotions. And I would say the difference is that in meditation, you're taking a current state and trying to calm yourself down. And in exercise, you're creating an agitated state and then working to calm yourself down. But with the feelings and the stress, something else that has really helped me, and this is actually something that is known in the therapy field, but when you put words and emotions to your feelings, you're taking it from your abstract sense to your logical sense, and you're able to feel some relief. And they don't know why this happens. Like they're still unaware of why this happens, but it works. So the act of journaling and just writing it down and saying, I feel really stressed right now. This happened and this happened and this happened. And then it happens for me all the time when I'm journaling where I just get and I calm down. It's unbelievable.
It is. It's almost magical.
We're trying to hold all that stuff inside. That's hard. And I guess if I was going to retreat back to what we were talking about originally with like, Stroller Strides, and when you're in that stage, right? When you just had a kid, everything is kept inside. There is so much swarming around in there. It's stressful 24/7.
Absolutely. And you feel like I've never done this before. So you've got so many questions around motherhood, which is why I started it. You guys, I wasn't trying to start a business.
How did this
had
start?
Questions about. So I was a brand new mom to Jacob at the time of this recording release. He will have just turned 22. And I started Stroller Strides when he was 3 months old. So I wasn't looking to start a business. I was looking to build a mom community because I knew nothing about motherhood. So I figured, hey, I can help everybody get back in shape after having a baby. I developed my own stroller workout that I did with Jacob, and it was our best hour of the day. And we got a total body workout in, walking with the stroller, doing lunges and squats and using tables for push-ups and tricep dips. And that part was great. But what was missing for me was community. And I had questions about nursing and sleeping and leaking and all kinds of things. And I had no mom friends. So I figured, all right, let me just build a little local community so that we can support one another. And that has been a foundation of Fit for Mom since the beginning. And apparently I wasn't the only one looking for it because the business took off. And I want you guys to realize this is August 2001. There is no Facebook. There is no social media. There weren't even podcasts, which is so crazy. This is pure word of mom. This is Sally calling her sister, cousin, or friend and going, I'm doing this really cool class called Stroller Strides. And then Sally's cousin calling us and saying, I want to join a class. And so long story short, we ended up franchising the business, and Stroller Strides grew up and became only one of our programs. We now have fitness for every stage of motherhood, starting with Fit for Baby, which is our prenatal program. We have Strides 360. We have Body Ignite, Body Well, Body Boost, Run Club. All fitness, wellness for every stage of motherhood. We have about over 200 franchisees. We have almost 2,000 instructors across the country. And not only was it magical for the clients and continues to be, it was a really cool career opportunity to share for our franchisees and our instructors that I wasn't expecting, because it's your own business that you get to integrate with motherhood. So that's been an amazing thing to be able to share in the evolution of this business.
Yeah, moms need community. We need other moms who have our back, who aren't going to judge us. And putting it in the realm of fitness, I think is like, it's perfect because you need it.
We find that moms come for the fitness and they stay for the community. And I have moms who have been friends since my first class 20 something years ago, and they all just sent their kids to college together.
Oh my gosh.
So if you need mom friends, and what's really cool, I get to visit classes all over the country. Any class I have ever gone to, I'm like, these are the most down to earth, welcoming, non-clicky, non-judgmental. I speak to all of you. You've got a place at Fit for Mom. It's really, a pretty special place.
That's amazing. Well, Lisa, it has been amazing talking to you. And I've loved this talk about moms and health and diet and exercise and stress. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much. Hey, I've got a special for your listeners, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Awesome. Okay. So if you go to fitformom.com/podcast, there's a couple of different offers for your mamas. They can enter to win a free month. They can get a free week of classes wherever they're at. And they can also get 50% off our Fit for Mom on Demand. So if there's not a class near you, we've got an online program. And so we just need to do the name of your podcast, No Guilt Mom 50 for half off. And that is how they can get half off Fit for Mom on Demand.
Love
Awesome.
that.
Well, we will share that in our show notes as well. And
Awesome.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, ladies.
So there's so much that goes into actually creating a healthy lifestyle. And I got a little fired up during the interview about all of my thoughts on the matter.
You're passionate about it.
Because I see people go through the same diet over and over again and then gain the weight back and then go through the diet again and then gain the weight back. And it's just like, it's disheartening, I'm sure. It's disheartening.
I would think so. Yeah. Like in my life, I have had my ups and my downs with weight, and it 100% has to do with what Lisa said with the whole, you do or you don't. It's no try. It has to be baby steps for me. And it's funny because my background being in special education for early childhood, like 0 to 3, all we ever did was teach how to make those baby steps and to see that gradual progress, to keep your motivation up and to keep working at it. And I sometimes forget about that when it comes to myself, but I know I respond best to that. And so she talked about that. You talked about that. We talk about it in Balance VIP all the time with the habit tracker.
Yeah.
It's making the little changes, and then you'll get that space and you'll see that with those little changes, wow, there was progress.
Well, I have to say, it is a mentality I constantly have to check myself on. And it's something that I am intentional about, especially like in our balance journal, how we write the things that my mind needs to hear. Sometimes I write, I'm like, I am going exactly the speed I need to go. Because for instance, ways this comes up is I do hardcore on the floor, and there are certain workouts I hate them. I hate anything that includes a lot of burpees and squats and everything. And before I started working on this, I would look at those workouts and I'd be like, I just need to power through it. I just have to do it. Let's do it all. Even though at the end of the workout, I feel like I want to puke. Like it's that bad. And I think a lot of people associate exercise with feeling like they want to puke, but it doesn't need to be that way. So much so that I have just taken this gradual approach to movement where I'm like, I'm going to go and enjoy the exercise. And at parts I find I can push myself a little harder than I thought I could, but I never push myself to that point of pukage. I never stop listening to my body, but I always have to fight that voice that tells me I am a wimp, or I am not doing enough, or I will never achieve this goal because I'm not willing to do what it takes.
Tell Bob,
always have to fight that voice.
Tell Bob to shove it where the sun don't shine.
Well, I think you might, when you describe it with yourself, I think you might have a Bob lurking in there too.
Oh, I definitely have a Bob.
Telling you something.
Bob is big. He takes up the whole damn couch. He's huge.
And Bob, for everybody who is not in Balance VIP, it is that inner voice that's mean to you.
Yes.
What does your Bob say to you? What does your Bob say to you when you try to do the big things and then you realize that you're supposed to be taking baby steps?
It should be easier for you. Why is it, and Bob likes to name names. Bob will be like, Jen, Miguel, Joanne, Shayna. It'll throw out all kinds of names to me, but that person could do this and you can't. This person could do this and you can't. There's just something wrong with you. But again, that's where with me, I do know that some of my secret weapon for me is it has to be social, which is, I never did get to go to Stroller Strides when my kids were little. I knew of it, but I didn't get to go. And I wish I had, because sometimes I would see them getting together. And I wish I was over there. I would have talked to other moms. I would have had friends, because I'll do more when I'm with others. But I have a harder time doing what I know is best.
Well, that's good to know about yourself.
Yeah.
If you know that you need social stuff, you need to join a group like that.
I do.
Okay.
I get much better results when I'm doing things. And I can't just be accountability. I have to actually be with other people. But you know that about me. I'm chatty, chat. So.
Yeah. See, I have to be social too, but I think the pandemic helped me redefine my social, because as long as other people are going through the same things I am, I feel connected.
That's
So
good.
that's why I do hardcore on the floor, is because there's a Facebook group and everybody is doing the same exercises and you're on there and somebody will post like, yeah, jumping squats. Let's talk about this right here. And we've all gone through a shared experience, even though we're separate.
Yeah.
So
That's
I think
awesome.
that helps. But yeah, your Bob is in that comparison land.
Oh yeah,
which I think a lot of people
cigar,
get into.
I've imagined.
Oh,
He
yeah.
kind of looks like the mucus guy from the mucus commercials.
There you
He's
go.
got his cigar and his old ripped like tank top and his hat sideways. He's not nice.
Yeah.
Rethink some pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what you need to do. You need to visualize it.
Yeah.
And I think what Lisa said is just us taking those small steps and habits and changing from there. Because with my weight loss journey I'm on right now, I've lost 5 pounds and I'm 41 days in right now. And the scale hasn't really moved for the past 2 weeks, but I know I'm making progress. And I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot about planning my meals, and I've learned a lot about portion control, and I've learned about the importance of protein. And I do see little areas that I could tweak, such as me grabbing raisins by the handful out of the pantry, which does not help with my calories. Because, you replace, and there's always things you can tweak. Or like, one thing I'm working on right now is adding more vegetables to every single meal I eat. So it's those little changes that help and that are sustainable.
Which I love. I love the little changes. Like we focus on that so much in Balance VIP, but it's amazing. So much there. I'm going to always plug Balance VIP because we take everything that we learn and we bring it all back to Balance VIP for all of our members.
No, I would say if you are still on this podcast conversation with us and you are not in Balance VIP, what are you doing? Because obviously, like, you enjoy this interaction. This is like us in Balance, except I feel like I'm a lot more unfiltered in Balance because there's stuff I can't share in the public sphere where I do share in Balance. And then you get our help as well. And our members have experienced such huge wins, from Donna, who's able to connect with her kids more because she feels like she's not against them, to Tracy, who like totally transferred all of those things that she was doing for her kids, like packing the bags and making sure they did their homework, to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And she has so much more free time now. I could just name all of our members who have had these big wins. And so come to Balance. And that's the community too.
Yeah. And if you're looking for in-person community, Lisa had a fantastic deal. I don't know if you guys caught it at the end of the episode, so I'm going to say it again right now. She has a really great deal where you can get 50% off any of the Fit for Mom on Demand stuff. So there's that as well. No Guilt Mom 50. And the information is in the show notes below, but I believe it was fitformom.com/podcast. Did I say my slash correctly? I always mess up on the slash.
Oh, I always do too.
// Yes.
Really, yeah. Everything's a / really. There's really no backslashes in website addresses.
That is true. For some reason, we always say backslash.
Ever. It's always a / Yeah.
Oh, we're always moving forward and progressing. You like that? Mom joke. I'm gonna make mom jokes a thing. Why should dads have all the fun?
I think my kids would be like, cringe. Do you get that a lot? Cringe.
Well, that's why recently we had a podcast episode where we did a quote and Bree said sus. And I'm like, oh, that's a little cringy right there. And then I'm like, oh my God, I just used two slang that like.
Use cringe.
But anyway.
Pretty soon you're going to be eating your lunch and you're going to say it's bussin'.
Oh my God. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I have to it's so hard to decipher what my daughter says half the time to me. I was like, wait, what? Say that again.
Bussin'.
I do not.
LOL. That's what my daughter says. LOL.
I still know LOL. Yeah, whatever. Leave me alone. I know that.
But
stuff.
She's putting the loser sign on her forehead.
I know.
I'm like, what are you doing? Remember, the best mom's the happy mom. Take care of you. And we'll talk to you later.
Thanks for stopping by.
Are you looking for something to listen to with your whole family? Then check out 6 Minutes, produced and created by Gen Z Media. With over 200 twisty, cliffhanger-filled episodes, 6 Minutes tells the story of 11-year-old Holiday, who is pulled from the icy waters with no memory of who she is or where she came from.
3 years ago, Brinley Pasternak helped the Anders family uncover the truth about Holiday's past. Now she'll need them to help her find the truth about hers. In 6 Minutes Out of Time, the long-awaited sequel, Cyrus Anders is found unconscious near the mysterious Elixir Academy in Florida, and Brinley learns the school may have a shocking connection to her missing mother.
Dive in now and get the most downloaded family audio adventure in history. Follow 6 Minutes wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free with the GZM family subscription.